One of the biggest challenges we face in customer service is this. How do you take care of the customer without breaking policy? Because most times we feel like we have to choose. You either agree with the customer and say yes to refunds, exceptions, and compensation, or you follow the policy and the customer becomes frustrated and angry, which leads to escalation. In both cases, something breaks. Most organizations train their teams to respond with logic, policy, and procedure. But difficult customer interactions are rarely about the request itself. They're about how the customer feels in that moment. Frontline teams struggle in these situations because they don't have a system for the emotional side of service recovery. And when that emotional layer is missed, the cost is enormous. Not just in refunds or escalations, but also in damage to reputation and staff burnout. Without a system, every difficult interaction becomes a gamble for the customer, for the employee, and for the brand. And that's exactly why I built the F.E.E.L service recovery framework. It's a simple, repeatable method that helps teams handle difficult situations without giving everything away and without hiding behind policy. It stands for Find the Real Issue, Empathize without surrendering, Educate and Align Expectations, Leave them with a win. First, we have to find the real issue, not the request, but to recognize the emotional reality behind the request, because that's what actually needs to be addressed. Then you empathize, not agreement, but recognizing and understanding how the person feels. Because once someone feels understood, they stop pushing. Then you educate and align expectations. You explain what you're able to do, and you set fair and realistic expectations, which provide you with a clear path forward. Because now they're ready to hear it. Logic only works after connection. And finally, you leave them with a win. Not necessarily a refund or compensation, but a feeling that they were taken seriously. They were treated fairly, and they were respected. The F.E.E.L framework gives teams confidence, consistency, and a shared language for service recovery. When teams use this framework, three things happen immediately. First, escalations drop. Second, customer loyalty increases. And third, staff feel more supported, more capable, and less burned out. Because the goal isn't to avoid problems. Problems are unavoidable. The goal is to handle them in a way that builds trust. Because at the end of the day, you don't win the argument, you win the memory. In the next set of videos, I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like in real situations across different industries, so you can see how this works in practice.